All right, good evening for Enterprise fans. Welcome to the second match between Eizan and Tybalt in the round of 16 for the Omnidextrous Memers Guild. My name is Garen in the commentary booth, along with our restreamer Aaron and our tracker Step Lively and Fulgrin here on the comms with me. How are you doing tonight, Fulgrin?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I am looking forward to another exciting night of some memes and hopefully some interesting checks tonight.
All right, speaking of memes, Tybalt looks like his naming scheme is recalling a previous match between him and Eizan. For the Lally Ho League. So I don't remember watching that race in the past, but hopefully this one is just as good.
You always got to appreciate the callbacks, uh, especially in a community like ours. It's always nice to see, people get the chance to avenge or revisit some races you may have had in the past.
Yes. Speaking of the recent past, I lost Eizan in the previous round. So on the one hand, you like to see the people that beat you do well because that makes you feel better about losing. On the other hand, I'd also like to see a game 3. So
I mean, you do love to see as much, especially with a flag set like our Omnidextrous Beamers. Um, it makes for some interesting watching for us as commentators for sure, and for everybody out there in the stream.
yeah, so to recap our exit real quick, it's the same 7 objectives all the time. Defeat the Blue Gauntlet, beat Lower Babel, complete Cave Bahamut, break the Dark Elf spell, open Troya Treasury, drop the Magma Key into the well, and forge the Legend Sword with the Adamant. And of course, it's also Force Hook, so that Magma Key is not anywhere on the overworld or any place that's not locked by underground access, which can cause some interesting logic sometimes depending where your Darkness Crystal's hiding.
Oh, absolutely, and makes for definitely some interesting spots where you can end up with some very interesting bosses down there. On the other hand, with as the name implies, with the Omnidextrous flag set, we're going to have a little bit of power going into some of these fights.
Well, the power is often there, but sometimes the roller is a little bit rude and doesn't put any power in the seed.
Which, when you're on the running end of the seed, is never fun to see, but always makes for some interesting watching.
Yes, I mean, sometimes you'll see crystal swords dropping out of every nook and cranny. Sometimes it's like, okay, is there anything better than an ice brand? Anywhere, please.
And that's what you get with a max of a tier 5 in non-trap chests. Oftentimes you're kind of rolling with, the random ogre axes that you find, or the, slumber blades every so often. Just a matter of working with what you have.
Yes, and speaking of working with what we have, in this flag set we start with one of the 2 white mages, and it looks like, based on the screen up here, I can't tell which one because there is no icon available on either runner's screen. It'll either be Rosa or Porum, though. I'd like to guarantee you have access to things like Berserk, Link, maybe an exit depending if it's Porum or Rosa.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a flag set where Porum actually tends to shine a lot in the early game. Just a natural access to exit. And speaking of, it looks like we are starting with the Littlest White Mage.
Okay, so it is a Porum start. That is excellent. In this flag set, we restricted Fu, Cecil, and Yang, so they won't be a starting companion to Porum. And of course, there is no Tella because Tella is just not omnidextrous, he's no dextrous.
Correct. And also, we have characters like Yang, who is restricted, who in this flag set you don't quite like to see in anything more than a anchor role, whereas most everybody can make use of the plethora of weapons that we have. Yang tends to struggle a little bit in that department.
Yeah, so actually we restricted Yang to be a bit of a favor to the runners as opposed to being mean to them. Same with getting Tela out of the way here, just because of the way Tela functions, where his stats tend to get worse as the game goes on.
And so, like we said, it looks like we are getting started here. Let us see who we're going to have accompanying our Porum.
You've got the other white mage. All right, double white start with Dark Imps giving us a Luca key. And it looks like that is the dwarf kit.
I believe so.
Alright, so now we get to see where the runners want to start looting. Eblan Castle is a favorite play just because it tends to be weighed a little bit better than some other locations. But let's see if we see a divergence in where there's a start.
Correct, we do have the free item check in Torian Castle with Bedward. Hobbs is always an option just to see what other characters you might be working with. But it does look like both our runners are going to make a beeline right for Eblan Castle.
Yep, there is the free treasury, there is Damesine Castle, and sometimes Antline Cave, but frequently a lot of runners will skip those places. It's all about trying to find a heroine robe and some power early on, and lately in a lot of seeds I have not been seeing heroine robes tend to turn up. It seems that we might have actually run out of them, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you got to watch out for heroine robe inflation. Once the economy gets too many in the system, it kind of tends to peter out a little bit.
A Gungnir Spear over on Tybalt's side in Eblan. Silent Staff is nice because that is useful for those ogres here.
Correct. With this set, you can look at a lot of different items and and actually a nice black robe too, for any potential sweeper that you may find. But stuff like Dragon Whips, Silent Staves, stuff that you normally don't think about that have those weaknesses to certain types of enemies, get a lot more use in this flag set.
Yeah, especially now that everybody can use them instead of, only Rydia can use a Dragon Whip in the vanilla game or something like that.
Artemis Arrows, never heard of them.
Of course we've heard of them, it's the typical pink tail thrown.
Getting a nice power staff, too, out of one of the chests on Tybalt's side. Not a bad offhand to have, especially with the strength increase that you get from it.
Yeah, Power Staff's got 10 strength, which is one of the highest values on any weapon, and your 255 attack power, there's no sense in equipping another strong attack power weapon because you're already maxed out.
It looks like Tybalt's going to make some easy boss checks, see if he can't catch an early, Gauntlet, and get that objective out of the way.
Chat's pointing out bows and arrows tend to get shunned here because there's a penalty to that in Omnidextrous. The only time you're ever really going to use them is if there's a really niche use for them, or you're trying to back row somebody. There's an evil wall in the cave. I think that's a better defense for Mist than a Mist Dragon is.
Oh, most certainly. But it also lets Tybalt know that Evil Wall was not going to be in many of the ruder places that he can show up.
And there are certain places where Evil Wall is very rude to show up.
It looks like Eizan is taking a swing at the Mad Ogres on his side.
I think Rose has got enough defense. This will be safe, it's just not going to be quick. Ooh, Twin Harp from the Bedward. A vanilla item. I could check the free treasury. We'll check the Flame Dog.
It looks like Tybalt had gotten a good variety of items from his Eblan run, where taking the time to go into the free treasury. Probably not in his priority list.
I think Eizan reset out of the ogres. I didn't remember him finishing it. We still had 3 up.
No, he reset out of it. Looks like it was just taking just a little bit too long. Rosa was swinging for about 300 damage.
Alright, now we're going to pet the flame dog in the Zot kennel and see what we get out of this. Ooh. Yeah, Earth Hammer not useful here because that has a flame element to it. Oh, it does go down, though.
By the skin of his teeth, Eizan finding the water hag, which is disappointing, seeing the wrong blue robe, but now you know whatever blue robe you see in the future will be the one you want.
Meanwhile, we don't want the kids to see violence, so we're going to violently take Rydia out, and she won't have to see any of this.
Well, I mean, midday naps for a kid that young are very important for development, so that's just good thinking right there.
And Tybalt is going to come by the same Mount Hobbs and pick up Rydia, and we'll see if Tybalt has the same idea of keeping her down on the ground, because she is a potential sweeper, not the best one, because you don't really get any black magic early, and you're kind of counting on Leviathan showing up for that.
As we say, unless you find a Leviathan relatively early, you're better off hoping that you find, say, a Palom or a Fu.
Yes, and of course, since we know that Water Hag is here now, the next blue we find is the Gauntlet we were hunting for. I don't think it's proper grammar to say fight I.
I mean, she's just being generally very encouraging, so I'll let it slide this time.
I thought we'd be fighting Anna in this game.
And it looks like Tybalt has the same idea, letting Rydia take a lie down before finishing off that water hag.
And there's a dupe Rydia up here in case the first one wasn't enticing enough. With a DKC in the first spot.
Actually, very manageable.
Uh-oh. Not quite enough.
Said some words, and DKC immediately said no.
And it looks like Eizan is going to say no to that Baron Inn for the time being. Looks like going for the Fabul defense, an interesting early play. Some racers tend to fade this until they find the pan.
Yeah, hard to say with this setup too. It might just be get a quick couple levels on, on your white mages to get maybe a few more useful spells. But yeah, normally that's a you hit everything all at once and hope. But we'll see if they work out.
Pour them up to exit, definitely. I would usually take this if it's needed to get there. Tybalt, Earth Staff would be quicker on this, I think. Earth Hammer, sorry.
Tybalt very much agreeing.
No experience here, really, from all the split XP. And a black shirt. Womp womp.
And Eizan finding himself fighting the elements in the Fabul. And Tybalt looking like he's gonna head on there himself.
Well, at least this time the Baron army is sending a better force than just simply a bunch of random enemies. It's sending all 4 of the elemental fiends trying to beat the bull, but have a lot of powers. Down they go.
And let's see what the king has for us here today.
Yeah, it looks like the Dark Knight of Baron has left behind for the King of Fabul a
Oh,
hook.
there's the hook.
Apparently, that DKC had a lot of foresight into what Sid was going to be up to. Eizan skips the shops. We'll see if Tybalt checks on the way out. Sometimes like checking early to see if there's any Drain Swords or maybe Tor Rages if Keinazo is in a particularly rude spot.
All right, it looks like Eizan is going to head down Lion Cave himself.
Don't
As
think
we
he
found out,
saved, though, before he came down here, did he?
I do not think so.
Alright, so we have to walk this out to avoid having to redo Fabul.
Looks like
Well, this
Tybalt
is an
might be
interesting
diving
play.
ordeals.
And also doesn't save for coming up the mountain. Okay. Ordeals is another one of those checks that a lot of racers will try to fade it because it's a long check. You've got a couple cutscenes and 3 bosses here and only 1 key item. On the other hand, for a Gauntlet, this is 3 shots at the lottery. It has been amazing how many times this particular check has paid off in this tournament.
I was going to say too, if it did, and since it is such a normally skipped objective or spot in this game, Tybalt could be thinking, maybe Eizan's not going to hit it this early. Maybe this will be the item that gives me that edge.
And that's a little bit of counterplay. If you know your opponent likes to take it, maybe you fade it, or vice versa. Eizan's taking finds a black belt in one of those chests here in the Antlion Cave.
And a dragon.
And a dragon whip. That's some good value for some chests that normally aren't taken.
I'll say not a bad consolation prize for having to run back through.
Okay, Eizan is now going to give us the peek at Bedward and the Dog chest we've already seen. Acro Guards. We will help you like a change staff if you had one.
Yeah, we'll take a successful mute spell as a nice consolation prize. Prevent those nasty counters that these guys can throw out.
We still have to land the hit.
Yeah, it generally tends to help. There you go. Or I'm just blowing that one. Go ahead.
I was going to say, now we get to see if there's any value in this mirror room. This ladies' night. Yes, all the men are out drinking. Maybe.
Alright, Tybalt has a key item and one more boss check to see if this hike up the mountain is going to be worth anything. And
maybe worth it. We don't know yet.
I mean, you already have the hook. Not a bad prize to get out of here for sure.
Well, here's doot doot doot. I don't think we're going to hear much dooting, though.
Oh,
we're going to get one.
Gonna give us a little bit of the song of his people.
And now he's been silenced forever.
Is that still considered a swan song if it's a dragon?
Maybe it's a swoon song. Thank Joker Mage for the sprite work there.
So if you're Tybalt, do you go check Baron in to see if there's might be just one more objective behind it? Or do you just start think about diving Hook?
Well, first I'm going to check that red tail and see if there's any value there. Tybalt hasn't even peeked into Baron yet, has he?
He has not.
Yeah, so I mean, I want another character besides what I already have. And it looks like he's going to at least check.
I mean, not a bad idea. You haven't gotten the hovercraft out of Damsine yet. So this just a quick check, and he should have the HP to get through this DKC.
DKC does a favor and takes Rydia out. And hey, it's another character. Okay.
You may have thought it was Rydia, but it was Yang in disguise.
That Yang is but punchy here.
Yeah, I think people tend to forget how much damage he can put out in this spot, just due to the nature of the randomizer. But, you know, at these levels and HP levels, that's a lot.
Alright, and Tybalt gets through. That is not value.
Nope, just disappointment.
Or disappointment, no less.
At least you get a free heal out of it.
That means Rydia is actually back alive. It might take another turn or a few frames to get rid of that. This is one of the other things that you're trying to anchor. It's like the free heals and the cabins are a little bit less useful because you don't want to bring that other character back up.
That's very, very true. And it looks like we're going to start our Hook checks. We're going to check, see who the boss in the waterfall is first.
Well, we have a vanilla octopus taking a bath.
A lot of vanilla going on in this seed.
Unfortunately, the chocolate ice cream truck got in an accident on the highway.
Well, sometimes it's good to appreciate the vanilla. As long as we get one rude boss spot, we'll be happy.
We always have Z, so... Now the question is, Tybalt going to do the hook route first or do the twin harp first? I guess first check the rat tail, and we'll see.
I mean, honestly, personally, I would be looking at twin harp first just to be,
Oh, there's a tower key.
Tower key
So
might change my mind a little bit.
So we still don't know if that Ordeals has value or not, because, again, this is our training item, so we'll see.
But fortunately, boss in Lower Babel is also one of our objectives. So being able to do tower in one complete check is at least time efficient, if anything.
Alright, and Tybalt is first into Cave Evelyn to drive this hook route. Under 20 minutes, not bad, considering we've done pretty much all the overworld. It's available to us at Twin Harp.
Twin Harp and the Trap Chest.
That's right, Tybalt has faded the trap chests. We're not used to them being faded, because it's like, usually I take them on the way down for experience for the hook route. It's been partially plundered, chat. Like the free chests have been taken.
I know Eizan had taken a stab at the Mad Ogres, but Tybalt, I don't think, opened any of the trap chests.
There's a dwarf axe if you want to get some extra anchoring ability, but otherwise the Eblin shop's not all that helpful today. And welcome into Free Enterprise 3. About 20 minutes into the race between Eizan and Tybalt, so please no spoilers of the race that was just on Channel 3. Ninja hat.
Always a good time when you need to get just a little bit of extra speed out of people.
And yelling at them to go faster doesn't work?
I've tried that, trying to sweep Sylph Cave before, and it doesn't quite have the punch.
Well, the seer really wants you to go down this hook route with just 3. This is a dupe Porum. We've already seen dupe Bridia.
It looks like on Eizan's side we have some trap chest checks. Looks like we're going to be hitting right side.
And thank you to the Black Cats for taking care of our anchor. Who's not anchoring right now, but will be.
Porum showing her worth with the early Berserk.
These enemies are being very nice today, taking Rydia down every single fight.
I honestly wish I had as much consideration, but no, that definitely saves a turn or two for sure. And Artemis at bow from the cats and the Lamia, which not what you want to see with this flag set.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of use for that. All you really get out of it is maybe if you need some speed for a certain fight or two. And a longsword from the Twin Staleman. Now, where's Tybalt going?
Probably to Eblin Castle for the trap chest.
Oh, okay, buying a Blizzard Spear, okay.
Oh, and Eizan finding the Baron key from the Mad Ogre chest, so opening up another key item and another character check on the overworld.
And also a very long check, which is, again, a bit of a controversial check because a lot of people like to fade Baron for just the time involved in it. You get 2 boss checks and 1 key item check, and a couple long cutscenes for this one.
Especially the cutscene from the king to the actual key item. You don't want to see something that you can't make any use out of with that long walk.
Which is Arty Arrows, which is a frequent womp womp in this particular flag set.
Yeah, nothing like turning that into a walk of shame when you get something like a. I think I've gotten a Slumber Blade out of there before or something.
Our restreamer is hoping for violence here with that Gauntlet to Magma suggestion. Oh wait.
All right.
So we've got Eizan taking out these Dark Elves as Tybalt cleans up Edlin Castle.
It'll be interesting to see if Tybalt is going to follow the same path that Eizan is, or if he's going to take a shot at, say, the Twin Harp.
Twin Harp is required as an objective. So, I mean, I like to check it earlier if I have it, because you never know what's going to chain into.
It's very true. The last thing you want to do is save that for last and have that lead to, like, Adamant, Legend Sword, anything like that.
We have a non-bonus Demus sitting on the throne of Baron today. And Eizan gets through before it turns into mist.
Always a good feeling when you get them down before those three. It looks like Tybalt's cleaning up the last of the trap chests with the Stallman and Skulls.
Well, we have character value here in Baron.
Most certainly, especially with a group as constitutionally deficient as this one.
I think what you're talking about there is their low HP on the other three characters in this party.
Yeah. Seeing a DKC, you know you're going to have...
he's not a DKC anymore.
Very true. Very true. Paladin. Having your Cecil definitely makes things a lot easier. You have the HP, you have the cover, you have more swinging.
Tybalt tried to land in a lake, doesn't work. Only an Ether 2 here in Baron, so no value key item-wise. But Cecil could have value of his own, depending on if the seed requires the moon, because cover Cecil is a thing.
And now we come up to my favorite part of this flag set, required music.
Eizan's going to give us a peek into the basement before we get to this harp check to see if maybe the Gauntlet is hiding here.
I mean, you know, I was thinking more.
There is value down here in the basement.
Oh, there we go. Basement Gauntlet.
It is a little rude here at times, but this is based on, I think, the March is where it's taking the encounters from, I think.
I believe you're correct.
All right, we're going to take a break and let you listen to some music. Well, the king and the queen have interrupted our harp tunes with their.
Another lovely rendition as always. Eizan still making his way through, and a darkness crystal behind the twin harp.
It's good to see. Also means that because it's on the overworld, our magma key has to be underground. Bad news for Tybalt is Eizan is going to find that. It's not going to be out of the way because that twin harp is going to be taken sooner than later, probably.
And also just makes it so Tybalt has less incentive to go check Baron, which, as Eizan has shown us, has value in it.
Yes, a little bit dangerous here with these clappers at the end, though. We're down to just Porum and Rosa trying to play life roulette.
Well, Tybalt gonna go check. Well, looks like Tybalt is gonna prove me wrong.
It is probably good news for Tybalt, considering this gauntlet is here. Might have a slightly easier time of it with the extra levels.
Yeah, definitely gonna make things a little bit easier, especially once he goes to check the basement.
And it looks like Eizan should be through now.
Always a good feeling when you know.
That Dragon Whip would have been good about what,
Congratulations on beating those dragons. Here's a Dragon Whip. But it's always a good feeling when you get Gauntlet out of the way early.
Yes,
Worst thing in the world is trying to do that boss scramble, 40 minutes into the race.
Also good that Porum had some resistance to that blitz, because if it takes half of the HP like it was taking from Rosa, that would have been probably a wipe. And now Eizan is going to also go down the Oak route, and will probably actually step into the tower this time. All right, Eizan doing a little shopping while Tybalt finds the D-Mist here.
Getting that Paladin Cecil all kitted out. And let's see. Tybalt should be through this with little issue as well. Does not beat the miss, though.
There it is, one extra hit needed.
Always love me some efficient inventory management while the boss fades.
The inventory boss is a real thing in this particular flag set. Spear doing some work there, holding back a wall.
I mean, angles are really powerful. Must be really, really sturdy.
You shouldn't do geometry on stream, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I don't want to come across as obtuse.
Tybalt is gonna find the Gauntlet at the basement here that we already saw from Eizan. We'll see if Tybalt gets through any faster. And it looks like Ruby is the boss there. It has to be Ruby or Elements.
And it'll be Ruby because we saw elements at Fabul.
Right. I'm having a bit of seed bleed here. I know I saw Elements somewhere else earlier today, so I was getting confused.
Tybalt's skipping the Gauntlet. Looks like we're gonna hit hook route first.
Yeah, at least knows where it is, though, so it doesn't have to look for any further.
Very true. Easy to hit as your last stop before, hopefully if you find a pass somewhere.
Knowing the luck of the pass, it's hidden on the moon somewhere, and the moon is haunted. Yeah, and if Tybalt comes back later with more power, his Gauntlet will almost certainly be a little bit faster than Eizan's was, because Eizan's went a little bit sideways.
Very true indeed. And Eizan going to give us a peek at what's in the Mad Ogre chest in Upper Babel.
There's some Mad Ogres in the chest.
Hopefully under that layer of Mad Ogres, we find something that will help us or help them.
Tybalt sneaks a black belt from the first chest in Babel. Runners are going to high-five on the trap bridge. It's a spoon! That's nice. That power staff pairs very well with that spoon.
And now everybody can cosplay as Spoonward.
I probably shouldn't tell anyone, but I think they do it better than Spoonward does.
But do they have as much style as he does?
Pretty sure Rosa and Porum both kind of beat him in the fashion department.
But yeah, you got me there.
You have to remember, Tello couldn't figure out this guy was a prince with what he was wearing, so I mean,
That's very fair. He doesn't give much of a princely air about him. We're getting a little Mylon Z action in for the first spot.
Okay, so apparently, the Double Fiend spot is just relocated to the tower, where it's normally on Ordeals. It will take a few extra chests on the way down, probably still hoping for a heroine robe, which solves a lot of problems in the early game. And another bit of vanilla with Ruby in this spot.
Getting that successful. Ooh, there we go. That Blizzard Spear doing a lot of work on the open Cape Rubicante.
Yep, and we count on Ruby to do our dirty work for us in taking Rydia down. Rosa is going to fall to a glare here. And Ruby is going to fall to an ice pick.
Yeah, you got to distract him with the spoon and then stick him with the spear.
So Eizan's get through this about probably 30 seconds to a minute faster, but Tybalt is up a twin harp check, so kind of even.
It is very nice seeing how close these two runners are. Tybalt on the heels of Eizan with this Rubicante fight.
We see there's an Odin sitting at the top of Lower Babel.
Yeah, always nice to know who you're going to be fighting for that objective.
Yep, I don't know if we've seen any Thunder Claws yet in the seed. That would be the good weapon to take it out. Alright, Tybalt is also through now.
Alright, and it looks like Eizan is getting everybody set up for potential tower dive.
Yep, setting up for the alerts here first, because he wants to try to take him out with power overwhelming with the spoon and the power staff. Because we don't have a Thunderclaw. I think Earthhammer would also work pretty well if he needed a weakness.
Yeah, Hammer does do some dirty work against machines, but it looks like Eizan's setup will serve him just fine.
We have a Sand Ruby that is probably not going to get checked in the first trap chest. And a Strength Ring. One thing that's interesting about this underground routing that our runners are going to take is Tybalt knows, because the Darkness Crystal of Magma has to be underground. Eizan doesn't know that yet.
That's very true. At least you know at least one of your checks you're going to make down here is going to pay off.
Yeah, now, of course, it could be something silly like, let's say it's Luca or Sealed Cave, or Luca Keys on the Moon. It could be something silly like that, but you know it has to be somehow blocked by underground. Best news for Eizan is if he finds it in one of these tower chests.
Right, looking like the trap chests aren't holding anything really spectacular for our runners, leaving just the two boss checks.
Speaking of the After Years lore and Sheila, it's like, yeah, apparently Sheila's answer to everything is violence.
I mean, hard to argue because most of the thing we solve most of our problems here at Free Enterprise with straight up violence. Biking in your tower room, hit him with a spoon.
Yeah, Viking is not very threatening in that spot. Of course, not many things are threatening in that spot. The worst thing is when you get the dialogue bosses there. Golbez, or Thugay, or Water Hag, or something like that. Or Gauntlet.
Water Hag always makes me sad. It's like, I know I did enough damage to defeat you. I don't want to do this 2 more times.
Yeah, you would think with free bosses being on, it's like you get more than the damage of the spot, it would just go away, but it doesn't work that way.
Anna's got a lot to say.
Finally, a Water Hag, it's the Anna that has a lot to say, and the Water Hag just goes, "Urgh."
He's a boss of few words. Very poignant words, but a few words.
It's not even a word, it's a grunt.
Alright, we got Odin getting his dance on over on Eizan's side.
Yep. A little punchy here, but it shouldn't be too bad as long as Odin goes down before that Zenitsuka comes out. And Spoonadin should be fine. I'm trying to come up with a word for that.
Oh, swords up. Time to race as much damage as you can now.
Yeah, with Cecil going over 3,500, I think it was well in hand. There's an objective for Eizan and a magma key, so that's a double. So after this is done, Algren's going to have access to everything except either the treasury or the forge. 5 out of 6 available to him. Question is, how buried is that Earth Crystal? Darkness is in the Twin Harp spot.
Alright, let's see what that power key is going to give us, if anything.
If this is exactly the Earth Crystal, we are in a very jetty seed. It's a pass. That's pretty good.
I mean, that definitely speeds the Z fight up considerably.
Not the fight itself, just getting there, because, you know, walking the moon is hard. So Eizan is going down to the Feymark. She'll probably check the freebie here, and then might check the trap chest. Doesn't have any efficient sweeper for that trap chest just yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a tough spot to hit if you can't sweep them all relatively quickly. They get a little punchy.
There is just an elixir in the freebie chest, which it's nice, but it's not what you're looking for. Now the question of your Tybalt is, you only need an Earth Crystal, for the 2 forge items. You hop on an early Moonplay, which has often been haunted. You try Poison Treasury, Baymarch, Earth Castle. It looks like we are coming to Feymarch. Yeah, I would do Self Clear too if I could, but again, the lack of a sweeper means they might be pointed away from that.
Yeah, that's definitely a spot, especially with those ghosts, I mean, especially with those Marros, that if you go in there with no sweeper, you're going to be spending a lot of time down there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we would check the Sand Ruby first, see if maybe there's a Foo or an Edge or something they can use to sweep that. You don't have DKC because you know our deals.
Looks like Tybalt's going to give the Warrior Chest a try anyways.
Alright, Divergence. Well, Cecil's gonna have no problem with these. You just have to get through all the hits.
Looks like shouldn't be a problem for his back row. Row's going to take a little nap for the moment.
Should bring some mats along for all of the sleeping we're doing here.
Yeah, I can't imagine sleeping on the damaged floor. It feels great.
Imagine the floor is made of lava. Ooh,
Oh.
failure though in the Luca cave here. It's the Earth Crystal. If Tybalt checks that, he's in go. Because I think Eizan's going to be in go pretty soon anyways, because I can't imagine he plays that harp much longer.
No, especially when you know, I mean, you have the Earth Crystal. If you're going to check off that objective, you might as well check off both of them.
I did not see what came out of the warrior chest.
Crystal Sword.
Well, that's going to help the damage equation, at least, on Tybalt's side. You see that there are D-lunars down here in the Luca Cave. That'll really help for those.
Oh, most certainly. And on the plus side, it does also give a plus to Wisdom, so throwing it on whoever's going to be your healer, not a bad idea.
Alright, we've got the wall up on the D-lunars, so now they're going to start reflecting some viruses. And just blasting fire.
And Tybalt going down the sealed cave as well, going to be very happy with what he finds there.
This will be a little faster for Tybalt because it has the Crystal Sword, Eizan doesn't.
And even long term, you have to think Tybalt has already done his harp check as well.
Yep. As Cecil gets taken out by a virus. And the dealer's going to counter with fire on every hit, so this is going to be a little dicey if Rose doesn't kill with this next hit. Doesn't. Ooh, we're down to just 4 of them. Okay, we get Cecil back up. Hopefully a virus does not get put back in his face.
That elixir that he found in the Feymarch paying off a little bit.
Rosa with 1 HP left. And Tybalt is officially in go mode with this. And we'll heal up. Eizan is through.
And Tybalt is starting his fight.
Yep, sees what's there and is going to switch to that Crystal Sword immediately. I think it can one-shot them here, can't it? Yep.
Yes, he can.
So Tybalt's going to make up quite a bit of time on this fight because it took Eizan a little bit longer. will have to walk it out because I don't think that Rydia knows warp yet.
No, I'm pretty sure she doesn't. So, get to enjoy
Yeah,
the thoughts
she learns
of
it
Goku.
early, but not quite that early. After Tybalt, you've got a crystal sword and you've got a power thing for a power staff for Cecil. So Cecil's all set here. Do you take any more levels for you? Basically, go for your Z.
I mean, little extra HP on your 2 white mages wouldn't go, or wouldn't be a bad thing for sure. Just the less chance you have of wiping to a nasty big bang, the better. But power-wise and equipment-wise, I would say he's pretty well equipped.
Eizan is going to check the Sand Ruby, looks like. Maybe hoping for a Fu here.
Fu, I would even take an edge just for...
Well, it's a dupe
That's
Cecil.
a dupe.
I think Eisen's going to do the Twin Harp next. I would kind of think so.
Yeah, at that point, you might as well hit it and then just hit the treasury on your way back.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't know the Darkness Crystal is down here. We'll find out the good news pretty soon. Tybalt has seen it, yes, but... and Tybalt also sees the dupe. You lose the treasury here. You've not seen a heroine robe.
I would, at this point, I would say yes. Like you said, no heroine robe, no... yeah, I would say yes.
Yep, looks like we get a treasury rating. Bandana, some ninja hats, ninja shirt. Inventory boss. Oops, accidentally hit the call on that again. So inventory boss strikes again.
We call this phase 2.
Cat Claw, Orphax, Odin, nope, not worth it.
Yeah, I would say that's a mediocre.
That was garbage out of 10.
Generous.
Okay, so it's 3 down for Tybalt, so now we are going to probably see the Gauntlet taken.
Yeah, hit Gauntlet, go drop that Magma Key, go hit Cave Value, and go from there.
Alright, so Eizan is now through the Twin Harp. And sees there's been a Darkness Crystal available for pretty much the whole seed.
All right, we have Tybalt making his way through the Gauntlet. So far, making quick work of it.
This is going to be close, I think, with the times, because if Eizan decides to loot the treasury, I think they're going to get to Mysidia within about a minute of each other with the Darkness Crystal.
I was going to say, unless something really catastrophic happens in a Z fight, I think this is going to be a relatively close race.
That Crystal Sword may end up making the difference in that case, because Tybalt has it and Eizan doesn't. Eizan will save some time by skipping this treasury, which we know is kind of low on value today.
Eizan's going to go drop off his magma key and then go pop up to the moon if I'm not missing my guess.
If Bahamut is go mode, we don't care about the Forge today. No, John, we have no idea because no one's been up to the moon yet. Well, it had darkness early, but has not peaked it.
Tybalt on his last fight in the Gauntlet with that last clapper.
Yeah, a jet would be a good way to describe this. We didn't even have to peek into the Poison Treasury or Sylph Cave at all. He just gave us everything.
Even boss-wise, this has been a very generous seed.
Why did you have to curse it for Cave Bahamut?
Because I'm not the one running the seed.
Alright, so what is the rudest thing we can see up here at Cave Bahamut?
It's a good question. You can see an Ogo. That's always fun.
Bygon's already out of the pool here.
Antline is in play, though.
Alright, Tybalt is through the Gauntlet. And Eizan will check the character first. We're going to Bahamut, hoping there's at least a fifth character somewhere here for to take.
I mean, worst comes to worst, you have an extra target for a counter flare in the Z fight.
I think we call that bait. Well, there's bait.
That is definitely bait.
And it kind of makes you sad now that Radio was kept down most of the seed, because this is a better anchor choice.
I mean, we do have the Cave Bahamut fight. If she somehow manages to miraculously survive that, she can get a nice leap.
She's not going to leap into anything useful, though.
Very true.
I mean, you might get Virus, in which case, okay, you can cast a Virus and maybe hope to tick through a phase, but...
Looks like we're going to put Yang to work and hope for the best.
That is not the best use of power staves, but okay, we're going to go with it, see how it works. Tybalt's going to raise the whale, and we're going to see if Eizan's going to show us something rude or something free. Or he's going to take a Bahamut first. Behemoth. Wrong B.
Slightly more annoying.
Yeah, Bahamut would actually be pretty nice if you could get him in a random encounter here.
Yeah, at least Behemoth or Bahamut doesn't slap you in the next week as a counter.
Yeah, and Bahamuts actually have a low agility, so slow anchoring is not ideal for this. Tesla covering in the front row is also not ideal for this.
You get a quick blink cast, mitigate some of that, and just hope you manage to take him out.
Tybalt sees that Yang and says, no. Don't even bother with the time for the cutscene. We'll land on the cave entrance. It has to redo.
As one does every so often.
And with the time that Eizan's taken on this behemoth, Tybalt's going to pretty much be caught up at this point.
I was to say, besides this and the Warrior's chest, this is probably the biggest divergence that these two runners have had.
Yeah, it's been mostly either lockstep or just trading off. It's a Dark Elf.
Oh, and you like to see that with a crystal sword in your party.
I say, you know what the Dark Elf was weak to? Crystal swords, but Tybalt did not heal up for starting this fight. Although, given that Dark Elf likes to use weak, might not really be a problem. And Piggy Cecil is going to save the day.
Alright, we already got a change. It looks like Tybalt's going to take Eizan, I'm sorry, is going to take another behemoth fight.
It does pay for not having healed.
Going to try to carry it through with a Rosa and the Dragon Whip. Cecil back up and gets the kill.
So this is going to be the power couple show on Tybalt's side.
And this is officially go mode for Tybalt.
Yes. As the pass in hand, so we're going to be driving down to the moon and getting into our Z fight. Eizan's going to have better levels, so we're going to see if Tybalt has enough of a lead to get through Z first. I mean, we're taking some Bahamuts here, or Behemoths. I don't know why I came Bahamut. I'm thinking about that all the time.
Well, you have a behemoth in the Cave Bahamut. It's just, you know, it's a tongue twister waiting to happen.
Looks like we were leaving a bait out there, hoping that the Behemoth hits it. And it does.
That
why
poor
not?
Rydia, that poor Rydia has had a target on her back this whole seed.
Yeah, unfortunately, Rosa probably painted it there. Okay, Bahamut's down a little bit faster. I don't know if Tybalt is trying for Cure 4 on... okay, we're going for the second one.
And it's really looking like that warrior check that Tybalt did is really going to be the deciding factor in this. Just making the behemoth fights much, much faster.
Um, okay. Alright, so Eizan now has his crystal, and if he doesn't want any more experience, we'll actually get into the Z fight first.
It looks like he is satisfied with his levels and should be making his way down.
Alright, Tybalt says that's enough. Now we get to the wonderful phase beforehand, which is the menuing to set up for Z. Tybalt is not going to a swag whale park by the Troyan parking authorities' one parking spot. Take the much smaller Enterprise over there.
I have to agree with that move. I know they move the same speed, but the whale seems to move so much slower, and it drives me insane every time.
It only looks like it's bigger. Okay, we are about 5 seconds apart on passes here, so...
Oh boy. Oh man.
So, how much difference does a crystal sword make? We're about to find out. It's also a fifth character to menu through, too. Hey, Tibble, we're seeing some Z flags in chat. Is it time for bed?
It is getting pretty late.
A restreamer says yes, it's time for bed. Okay, time to go, right?
I mean, he's the boss.
Anyways, Z is kind of a rude boss. We can't really put him anywhere else because of the way his script works. I mean, Big Bang, pretty much anywhere else in this game is going to be a very nasty time, so we don't randomize where he's located. But instead, we decide to give him a costume change by randomly picking one of the hundreds of sprites that our wonderful Scala Kitty has come up with. And there's also a question we ask here, Falgren. What is that?
Well, Garen, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Also, does it have a butt? Does it have a cute hat?
Will it haunt your worst nightmares? That's going to be a yes to the last one.
Kind of ambiguous on whether it has a butt or not.
Was this the B-movie sequel that I never knew about?
Alright, well, Tybalt is down to the power couple show. But that should be plenty, given that Cecil's putting out 5,000 plus a round.
Looks like we're going to pick up that Porum as well, and just hopefully coast through.
And maybe we're... Nope, we're just going to let Cecil do the whole thing himself, it looks like. was kind of wondering if we would do a Rose of Berserk to add some extra damage, but it looks like not so much. We are going to take a slow onto Z to try and nerf this Big Bang. And Rose is just going to drop.
And here comes a Big Bang.
Was nerfed, so that should give the Forum some time to get the Rosa back. Another shake on Tybalt's side. Try to get a Cure 4 off. Doesn't.
Looks like we're going to sit and hope that... Ooh. Yeah, we're going to see if Cecil's going to get through this now. We have a shake on Eizan's side.
We have a black hole. And we've got a nuke. That's going to be a wipe for Tybalt. Unnerfed Big Bang over on Eizan's side. This would be a bad time for Meteo. Ooh!
Whoa!
Does anybody survive? Rosa does, and Cure Force herself. A dodges Meteo. That's good. Dodges again.
I mean, if you're going to have anybody survive that Meteo, it's going to be the one person who can get up the rest of your party easily.
And Rose is still dodging, which is good. And there's the crack bang on Eizan's side. GG.
GG. Alright, Tybalt's getting everybody all set for his retry here on Z.
Yep. So again, GG to Eizan for he's won this race and also this round, so he'll be on to the round of 8. We're not going to have an interview from Eizan tonight, so GG again, and we will see you in the next round.
Absolutely, very well played. It looks like Tybalt is fully buying into the power couple strategy now.
Yeah, the one problem with the first try was with only one damage dealer. It wasn't really kind of quick enough to get through phase 2 quick enough.
Yeah, that was definitely a benefit that Yang had the Eizan side there. It wasn't much damage, but it was still building up over time. The extra 2k that Rosa is swinging for is definitely going to help.
And oof. Alright. Farm is down. This is not good. Big Bang was nerfed, but I think at this point Tybalt has to wait for the black hole to come out for any kind of reset. There's a shake. We need to tip this over.
Gonna be close.
Ooh.
Oh.
Almost Cecil, not quite though. And we are joined in the booth by Tybalt. GG.
GG's. Young burns me again in this seed.
That was there were two differences in your fight versus Eizan's Z fight. He had Yang, you had the Crystal Sword, which he didn't have.
Yeah, just at that point when I saw Yang, I'm like, I've got like nothing I can give him. I need all the strength here possible for the multipliers for Cecil because I haven't found anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think Eizan gave Yang 2 power staffs, and that was about it.
And looking back, I'm thinking I should have Berserk glitched the Crystal Sword and Spoon onto Rosa. Bigger the 12k. 12k around that would have been a big difference there. It was if I had Zerk glitched Rosa with the Spoon and a Crystal Sword. That would have way more damage. But yeah, hindsight's 2020.
Other than Z, what did you think of the seed layout? It looked like it was pretty much a jet. Some things you have to check underground.
Yeah, I mean, it was a super jet. I mean, I decided to check all the. I found all the key items on the overworld. I'm all right, cool. Baron, Twin Harp. All right, fine. I'll do Baron. Like, nobody does Baron. Baron's never got anything good. And then I'm looking at the logic, and it's like, hold on a second. There's a high chance that Magma Key is going to be underground because I've already found the Luca and the Tower Key. Like, the only thing that can really gate the Magma Key on the moon would be the Pan. Cool. And I'm like, I gotta check Baron Basement. And of course, it's the Gauntlet. I'm like, I have no mage killing gear for this particular fight. Like, I'm not gonna be able to get through it. Forgetting I have the Silent Staff, of course. Because, you never really use a wet Silent Staff as a weapon.
Well, on that first Ogre chest, sometimes if there's nothing else available. Eizan actually did take it as soon as he was down there. It was a bit of a long fight, and it almost went sideways on him, but he was able to get through it.
I see the Gauntlet's there, and I'm like, cool, I know where the Gauntlet is. I can sit there and I can fade a lot. Like, I've got another objective on the table. All right, let's go. And, getting to Cecil from there was great. I'm like, I got a great multiplier for him. I can get him going real quick. And then I'm leaving Tower. I've got less than 10 key items. I'm like, I'm close to 10 keys. I'll do Fey March. I mean, I'm going to probably fade Sylph a little bit, but I'm at least going to check the Fey March and probably do Luca. And then if Luca just gave Earth Crystal, I'm like, well, okay, game. Put me in go mode. Jeez. Check the Sandra, be hoping for another character. Nope. Just give me anybody but Yang, please.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was one of those seeds where it's like, nope, there are only 5 characters in the seed. There's no 6th or 7th.
Yeah, no, they don't exist.
on the giant, and probably the package or something like that.
Yeah, it has to be at this point.
I think you and Eizan actually went almost the exact same routing. I mean, he went early Baron, you went early Baron, you both did ordeals. The only divergence was you took the warrior chest, and I think he skipped that, and that's really about all I can think of.
Yeah, unfortunately with me, when you go up against, as we call them, old hat veterans, like Eizan and Venerable, does like for me, I know I can't beat them in a straight race. I have to do something oddball, but what I was doing just happened to be a straight race.
In this case, the C really didn't give you any outs with a curveball.
Yeah, I was just like, here's go mode. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, you were both into the Z fight literally within seconds of each other. It's just that he had the Yang, and that was enough to get through it.
Well, at least I can say, I mean, this is the farthest I've made in one of these tournaments. I've made at least a little bit higher each time, so who knows? Maybe 4 more tournaments I'll end up being winner. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think this has been one of the more fun tournaments, just the flag set. I mean, it's crazy sometimes the way it's like you got 2 runners who are very equal, but one makes the right choice, one makes what turns out to be the wrong choice, and it just diverges sometimes.
Oh, 100%. I mean, this flag set really kind of levels the playing field in a lot of aspects. So it's not. It is a little bit of skill based, but there's also a little bit of some routing here and there, and sometimes even the oddball checks where it's just like, why do you go to Baron? It's such a long check. Well, it paid out. It gave Adamant and Gauntlet, hey, it's required, and you're gonna last location it. But I'm not, because I'm gonna make the oddball checks.
Yep. I know you were looting a few more chests, maybe hoping for heroin robe or something like that.
Oh yeah, heroin robe, just something. There was nothing really good for the early game for power. I think generally with these seeds, like, you usually find something, a couple of black shirt, black belts, maybe some bandanas. Nothing. Just here, have some karate keys. Have some strength. It's like, no, I want a little bit better than that. Like, I'm not asking for a hair. Like, give me some black shirts. Give me black shirts or bandanas for sale, even.
Then, of course, you snagged a black belt onto that one chest in Apple that you were. People often to run past that. It's like, okay, gotta go, but that one had value.
Oh, like, okay, black shirt. Cool, I got a little bit extra. Cool, it's a little bit better than the strength ring I have. Man, I had fun with this tournament. I always enjoy free enterprise tournaments. They're always a blast. And this one that they're putting on, the event team has done an amazing job with everything. Just sad I'm no longer in it.
Yeah, well, we can still watch the races, though, in the next few rounds, so still more tournament to go.
Oh, definitely. I'll get Eizan next time.
Well, don't feel too bad. He got me last round, so sorry we weren't facing off against each other, but...
Well, this particular match brings back a lot of memories, because during the Lolly Ho League, I faced Eizan, and I lost to him. And I lost to him because of Yang. With a Charm Claw. And
let's go back and watch that one at some point.
With the naming scheme where it ended up, Yang was just like, can I claw my way back? So see, claw my cool. And it's just a little joke in there.
Algren, anything to ask Tybalt?
No, I'm actually good. You covered everything while I was dealing with a technical issue. So I just want to say that was very, very well run. Very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to watch it back and see where I can improve myself a little bit. But I always enjoys watching these back. Oh.
All right. Well, I guess again, GG. Thanks for going on Restream and giving us a very entertaining show. It was close right up to the very end. And yeah, best of luck in the future races.
Yeah, thank you. GG's and have a good one.
You too.
All right, so that is going to do it for us tonight because we've had Free Enterprise on one of our channels since 7:30 tonight. Feel free to go back and watch the race on FE1 and FE3, which have already concluded. Some amazing races tonight. Tomorrow we are going to have NG Day versus Pyre at 7 p.m. tomorrow, not on Restream, on Khadgar. And Pancrase and Scarcer will be facing off in an epic Game 3 at 11 o'clock p.m. on the main channel. And let's see, also so we've got Pasta Morpheus facing off against Oof on Sunday, looks like.
And that would be 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, and looks like we just got the assignments for that one put out there. So, okay, great. Anyways, thanks for joining us tonight here on Free Enterprise, and we'll see you next time.